was life, and the life was the light of men.
Light of my heart, his name is Jesus. Light of the world, his name is Jesus. Light of my heart, his name is Jesus. Light of the world, his name is Jesus. For you are the Prince of Peace, Emmanuel. God in my heart.
Lord, reign in me, live in me, light in the world. Jesus.
Hello there, you're once more welcome to the Glory Realm Devotional. God has something beautiful for you today. You know, many of the time in life, everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to become what God destined them to be. At least, everyone wants to become somebody important in life. But many of the time, not everybody has been able to fulfill such dreams or visions or simple desire. And many of that has been frustrated by a lot of factors. And sometimes the reason why a lot of people have not been able to reach the point of life and destiny that they desire to get to is simply because of the things that they have in their heart. Sometimes the evil desire in somebody's heart could be a great hindrance. And Jesus was addressing this in the Sermon on the Mount, popularly, known as the Beatitudes, from the first opening part of the scripture in Matthew chapter number 5. People tend to end with where he had said blessed. But, he went beyond that. And yesterday we were talking about the fact that many of the time it had to do with what is happening around us. Many of the time it had to do with what is happening, not just what is happening around us, but what is happening in our hearts, rather, what's happening in our hearts. And if that which is in your heart is not clean, then every other thing will be messed up. And he was talking about this in chapter number 5, verse 27, that it has been said, okay, if somebody has slept with a woman, he's committed adultery. But he said there's something much more. If you look at a woman with an evil desire, then you've already committed adultery. And that's telling you what the mind of God is. So we have to be careful the desire with which we look at somebody or do anything. So God is concerned about your desire, the intent of your heart, the motive of your heart, much more than your actions. Somebody who has not moved in the eyes of men has not seen, but in the eyes of God, the person is already taken. So watch your heart. The scripture says, watch your heart with all diligence, guide your heart with all diligence, or out of it are the issues of life. And so Jesus went on to say something. Now take note of this. He said, whoever does that with an evil desire has already committed adultery. Then he went on in verse 28 and said something that many of the time we don't kind of connect it, but I discover that we are connected. Verse 28, it says, but I say to you that everyone who so much as look at a woman with evil desire for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Then he went on to say in verse 29, if your right eye serves as a trap to ensnare you, or is an occasion for you to stumble and sin, pluck it out and throw it away. It is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body be cast into hell. Now, some people still have problem with hell not being a reality, but Jesus is telling you that there will be the point where the whole body is cast into hell. So it's not just talking about you just dying and that's the end of it. Alright? He said you need to watch what comes into your heart. We are talking about the exceptional glory revealed. If you don't guard your heart, your life will be messed up. The glory destined for you will not manifest. Let's look at it again. Now see, take note of that in 29. If your right eye serves as a trap to ensnare you, Jesus said, cut it off. So what is he talking about? Let's go on to verse 30. You'll understand better very soon. And if your right hand serves as a trap to ensnare you, or is an occasion for you to stumble and sin, cut it off and cast it from you. Again he said, it is better that you lose one of your members than that your entire body should be cast into hell. Now look at that. He said, if your right eye, your right hand. You know, sometimes we fail to realize that we can be influenced. Now, the eye on its own does not decide. You know, I can look to my right or to my left. It's a decision I make in my mind or from my brain that transmit the instruction to my eyes. So what really controls that is my soul man, right? My inner man. That's where the real problem is. But when Jesus was saying, if your right eye or if your right hand, sometimes, now remember we were talking about the issue of immorality, and the verse after this he now began to address divorce. So he's talking about issues of relationship. Alright? Now, if he's talking about right hand, right eye. Now, I found out that these actually represent the influences we have. Some people, we call certain persons a right hand man. That this guy is my right hand man. So what does that mean? Whatever the person tells you, you believe is in the best interest to help you become what? God. Whatever you want to become. Alright? Some people are an eye for you in a place. Now, be careful. If that eye be evil, if that right eye, the one you trust, some persons play that role for us. If that eye be evil, your whole life is in trouble. The one you call your right hand man, a lot of people never will be in the situation of sexual immorality, but for their friends or somebody you trust, somebody you respect, your right hand man, your right eye, the Lord can put you into trouble. Now scripture says, Jesus speaking, if these persons or such tendencies will cause you to sin, cut it off. He's actually addressing persons or things or situations that you find it very difficult to do without. Or, people go to certain places or have to make use of certain devices to be able to accomplish certain things. But with it, it's an ensnarement. Whatever has a trap in it, look at what he was talking about there. Whatever, if your right eye serves as a trap, so take note of that. Whatever serves as a trap, if it is going somewhere or using something, whatever serves as a trap to your soul, Jesus is saying, cut it off. And beloved, I want you to enter into God's purpose for your life. But until you make up your mind, you will not make any outstanding progress. So make up your mind today to distinguish yourself, to live the life that brings glory to Him. Right now, I want you to take out some time, and you can do that later, but take out some time today. Whatever is an ensnarement to your soul, whatever is a trap that makes you get into trouble with God and with your fellow man, it's time to let it go. It may be a friend, it may be something you love, it may be a television program, the kind of films you watch. Whatever it is, cut it off, and the glory of God will settle in your life. I decree it is well with you today. Whatever the enemy intends to hold you back is broken off your life. I decree the power of God sets you free and releases you to your generation and your destiny. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you.